All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration.
Hello, my friends.
Hello, ladies.
How are we all today?
Frozen.
Yes.
Holy wow! Winter has arrived. We'll just put it that way.
Certainly has.
Yes. I worked out of the garage. I always work out of the garage. That's where the office is in the model home.
Mm-hmm.
And I always shut my door, and I have a little space heater, and I've been wearing multiple layers. And today I packed up my stuff and I went upstairs and I worked out of the kitchen. I'm like, enough already.
Yeah. It's rather extreme right now. So I think you just have to do what you have to do. And and it's not just here. It's everywhere. So, all right. Welcome to another episode of Three Cocktails In. Amy, Stacy, and myself. We are here to have more addicting conversations. And I think that as we are now middle of the way through January, hopefully people are hanging in there with their, if they set resolutions, hopefully you are hanging in there with those. But pretty much everywhere across the country, we've hit the deep freeze. And I've been thinking about warm weather.
Yes. Me as well.
At least dreaming of warm weather. And I feel like it's usually around this time that people will often start to think about, all right, let's get something on the calendar. Let's think about going somewhere. So we thought maybe we should have a conversation about this because we all have had different sorts of travels and vacations. Mm-hmm. And this would be a good time to share some of that.
Yes. There are some years when the girls were little that we as a family had a trip planned. And when you've got kids in school and sports, you have to hit a couple pockets, spring break or whatever. But on those years where we didn't have anything planned, we got to this point and we're like, we have to go do something. It was like, okay, I'm not going to make it, especially in Minnesota, I'm not going to make it to May without seeing some sun, hot.
Yeah.
Make me sweaty from being outside sun. And so, this is the week that I always feel like, I need something on the calendar. And I don't want to burst anybody's, I don't want to put any bad juju out there. But if you're thinking the wedding in Houston in February might be warm, tonight, Madeline and Alex, or earlier today, they had to wrap all their outdoor piping because they have frost warning tonight, south of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I asked, like, what are you wrapping it with? And she goes, well, we could get insulation, but we have bubble wrap and it's the same concept. And then started to speak like technically. You just, good job, you engineers.
Oh my.
So, yeah. So I think we got to go further south than Houston.
Yes. Agree. Yeah. What do you, Stacy, are you thinking the same?
Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere tropical, but it's not going to happen probably until April, maybe late March. I don't know. I don't have anything planned yet, that's for sure. Yeah. But I agree. There's a lot of U.S. destinations that at the moment would not be considered tropical, even Florida, not warm enough at the moment. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. The destinations here within the United States, because I automatically go to the Caribbean, like in my mind, right? Yes. If we're gonna do a spring break, if we're gonna take a warm weather vacation, I immediately think Mexico, Caribbean, etc. And I never really think about the way southern states that have really wonderful destinations for a warm weather getaway. I've got no experience with that whatsoever. Florida, Texas.
I have been to Phoenix a couple times, which, not maybe not January, but closer into February and March. And it has been delightful. Absolutely gorgeous. But this is also something that I think we can talk about. Do you go on trips or do you go on vacations? Because in my mind, those are two different things. My idea of a vacation is to go, bring books, sit by a pool or on the beach and do nothing else. It is solely to mentally recoup, shut the brain off. It's to soak up as much vitamin D as I can. Trip to me is I think my sister only takes trips. They go somewhere and they go to multiple museums and they go see this site and that site and they hike and they go up for restaurant, go out to eat and they go this and that. To me, that sounds like something I would need a vacation after. So I'm going to get one. I'm going for the warm, hot, not doing a whole lot sort of thing. So I strongly recommend Phoenix as a recoup, get your vitamin D, relax sort of vacation.
Yeah. Okay.
To get to, which is my other kicker, as we talked about a long time ago. I'm not doing any connecting flights.
No.
God, no.
No, not worth it.
If you're short vacation days, do not waste them on being in the air.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And now that you say that, I have been to Phoenix, and so in my mind, it's they have really wonderful luxury type, like Hilton, really nice Hilton destinations that have almost like an all-inclusive situation, and that would definitely be nice. Stacy, what's the window? So you go to Las Vegas a lot. What's the true warm weather window there that you can go there and it will be the hot temperature that we like to have?
Right. Pool weather. I was going to say, yeah.
Just slightly cooler than the face of the sun.
Right. That's the 110 month. You are pretty safe in April. I've been there in March when it can be very nice, and I've been there in March when it's chilly. So March would be still hit or miss. Yeah. But April definitely, through October, you're pretty safe that it's going to be pretty nice. I've been there Thanksgiving, Christmas, January, and it might get down to, 35 degrees. So, or colder. So April is pretty safe for Vegas. Yeah.
I had to turn my phone off. Sorry.
So Amy, your comment about vacation versus a trip that's interesting. I guess I never thought about that, but clearly your sister loves those types of getaways. There Correct. Are people who like to go and go. They like to go to museums. They like to go to the zoo, take in all of the local things. And I get that. You can come home exhausted, but you're so filled for people who enjoy that. They're so filled up by all of those experiences. That's great. I feel like I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah, I would be too. I need to do something for a while, but I can spend a lot of time lounging around on the beach or the pool.
When I've gone with other people, the happy medium that I compromise to, or actually there's two things here. First of all, if you're going with other people, you need to have an understanding in the group that you do you. If you need to go do something, you go do it. And if you don't want to go and I want to go do something, don't do it. Yeah. So many of us think that the whole group has to go. And I think there's no better way to guarantee somebody is always unhappy.
There's no way that you can please everybody.
No.
No.
So like many, many moons ago, when I used to sell commercial office furniture, I happened to be very fortunate in that I liked one particular manufacturer and I sold a lot of their furniture. So I probably won like 3 cruises and a trip to San Juan and a trip to Hawaii. But our boss would never let a husband and wife or a couple go together. So if the company won 4 tickets, he gave the tickets to 4 people in the office. Well, fortunately, it was always three women because we sold a lot of that and we had a blast. But one never wanted to plan anything. And at that time, I needed to plan everything. And our happy medium was we would only plan one thing a day, and it could not take more than the morning or the afternoon. And the other half then was always left to whether it's beach or pool or just random walking around. And I do think that's a nice way to find that kind of that happy medium, so you're not so overwhelmed and you can get a little local culture in.
Yeah.
But it is funny that you have to schedule spontaneity.
Leave time in your schedule for spontaneity.
We're going to be spontaneous from noon till 4 on Thursday afternoon. Yeah.
Starts now. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So what are where?
Go ahead.
Oh, Stacy, go. Go ahead.
So where are our favorite places to go?
That's what I was just going to ask.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. Where are some of our favorite places?
I have 2 that come to mind.
As we all start, we all kind of go like this. We kind of go like this. All right, Amy, you go.
Well, I'm going to go with a short weekend away. So I don't know if you guys think in short term, long term, but if I had a 4-day window, and I didn't want to spend much time on travel, for me, it's Chicago. And this is completely counterintuitive to what I just said about needing a vacation. But if I have a 4-day weekend and I just need to get out of town and we want to meet friends or something, I absolutely love Chicago any time of the year. Now, yeah, it's cold and windy, but it's cold and windy here and I'm not in my own home and I'm not shoveling and all that stuff. But great food, great museums. And I do love a museum. I love the Art Museum. I love the Museum of Science and Industry. I like the Natural History Museum. There's good, little restaurants and clubs you can go to. Good shopping, just to walk around and see someplace different. And again, once you get downtown, you don't have to have a car, which I also really like the idea of not having to have a car on vacation, not having to navigate. I like to just be able to walk. I really do. Make it as easy as possible. So I'm a big fan of Chicago. And from Minneapolis, we took the Amtrak once with the girls, and it was the most pleasant 4-day weekend we've ever had because my ex could sleep instead of having to drive. I could read. The girls were old enough. We let them go walk to they walked up and down a little bit and looked at all sorts of different things and they played their games and they could stretch. And so I would really recommend going on Amtrak. I would like to take another Amtrak trip. I think that sounds great.
I do
Especially
too.
like out west where the driving sucks. I'd like to take an Amtrak out west.
Yeah. Bill and I were just talking about this. I mentioned that it'd be fun to take the train to Banff.
Yes. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Sign
Has
me up.
anybody ever done that?
No, but I'll go with you.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
Stacey,
sure he'll
you
be
in?
excited.
I'm in. I'm always in. I'm in for whatever.
That's true. You always are.
Yeah, my short vacation, 3-day, 4-day vacation is always to Minneapolis. So we gotta,
That's right.
You guys,
and we appreciate that.
If you go there.
Yes, we do.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
Mm.
Yep. Out of Des Moines, where I fly from, is hard to find the direct flights. Allegiant keeps adding direct flights, so that's nice. So that's why Vegas a lot. But they have several destinations now in Florida, which would be nice.
Hey,
I guess.
Stace,
Mhm.
seeing that you do go to Vegas all the time, maybe you could offer up some suggestions that for other people who don't go very often, but they don't like gamble, or maybe that isn't their thing. What else would you highly recommend people do in Vegas that they
Right.
might not think about?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because, I'll just say it. We have a vacation home in Vegas. So between the two of us, we go there, quite often. And, when I tell people that, they kind of turn up their nose if they're not big Vegas people. Like, what do you want to go there for, all the time? I do a little gambling, but I wouldn't say very often. But there's a ton of other things to do. Of course, all the incredible places to eat is one of them. They have, a lot of entertainment, obviously, concerts are fun, that kind of thing. I do a lot of hiking in the mountains. We're not very far, from a few good spots that we go to, um, to hike. There's lots of
And those are sometimes day hikes or couple hour hikes. I know that we've
yeah,
done that when we have gone out there with you.
right. We've done a couple hour ones. You can drive a little further, like to say Zion. You can get to
How far is
Red
that
Rock,
Hoover Dam?
Hoover Dam. Yeah,
How
it's
far is
fairly
that?
close. Oh, it would, I don't know, from where we live, an hour, maybe
Oh,
less
really?
than an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's lots of
when
places to do, like there's, state parks around,
Mhm,
national parks around. So
mhm.
things like that. So yeah, a lot more to do just than go sit in a casino because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't do that very often. So
Yeah. I don't remember how many years ago that was, but Bill and Bo and I went and stayed at your place during
mhm.
our spring break. So it was March, and the weather was
Yep.
not as warm as we would have liked it to be. But we went and did Hoover Dam on that trip.
Yep.
And one of the other things we did, we went to see. So if there are any guys tuning in, and we know that there are, we know that we have guy listeners. If you watch Counts Customs, if you are a fan of Danny, I don't remember his last name. So he's the classic car collector and um, what is it when you completely restore?
Oh,
Restore
okay.
cars.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so the show is shot there, and they have their showroom there, and you can just walk in. It's just open, during the week. I don't know. It probably is on the weekend as well. And he's there, and the other guys that are on the show are there, and so three of us toddled off and went to that. And I'm totally not into that really, but it was pretty cool. So
Mhm.
that's there. The pawn shop is there, like the original from Pawn Stars. That's there.
Yeah.
And of course, Fremont Street is the ultimate freak show.
Oh,
We like the freak show.
The
that's
ultimate freak show.
the
It
three of
is.
us,
It is a
especially
freak
like
show.
going down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It is
Wow.
the best people watching you can imagine.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
still get a little bit freaked out by families that take young children down there.
They
Yeah.
should not go there.
I
No.
mean, take them if you want. I just am glad I don't have to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But
Oh.
to
Yeah.
each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fremont, not for kids, especially in the
No.
evening. Yeah.
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 I always walk away from there feeling a little bad for humanity.
But yet we go every time we're there.
Yes, we
Let's
do.
go.
It's a sociological experiment that we're conducting. We need
There
to
you go.
check on and update our data and, see if anything has changed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're doing it for the rest of you.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
True.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
some other U.S. destinations I really like. Austin, Texas would be one.
Oh.
I know Amy and I and some others went to Austin. Excellent spot. I also like Marco Island. We went there once. That was lovely.
Mhm.
Fabulous beaches and, just lots of cool area there. Liked the Keys. That's
So did
fun.
you drive down there? Did you fly in somewhere and then drove? I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been.
We flew into Miami and then drove down, stopped a few places, stayed over a couple of different places, got to the, very end and stayed there a couple days and then drove back. So yeah, that was fun.
Stacy, you should probably fess up as to how many states you've been to and what the goal is
Well, the
within
goal
your
is all
family.
Yeah, the goal is all 50. I can't remember. I might be at 38 or 39, somewhere in there. And I don't know if I've told you. Honestly, I have kind of the boring state the boring states left.
Oh, she said it, not us.
We'll admit, or
So
just
at Stacy Bartles.
yes, right? Yeah, or the ones that aren't the easiest to get to, I don't know. So it'll be interesting how I finish the rest.
And Barney, doesn't he just have like one left or something?
Yeah, just Alaska.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
just Alaska.
Wow.
And he wants to go to Alaska, and I keep telling him I'm not old enough to go to Alaska. I feel like all the old people take their, trip to Alaska when they're older. So
I
we'll see.
do want to go to Alaska.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I do, but I want to do it from one of those really shishi cruises where I just
Right.
get to look off the
Look at it.
edge and wear
Right.
my winter coat and drink something hot that somebody brings me, and
Yes.
then get off for a little bit and have somebody go, "Oh, there's a bear, there's a moose."
I don't think you're going to see
see
that
an
in
eagle.
the city. Yeah, that's the problem. So part of that trip, is like a week-long train trip way into Alaska. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Not yet. Someday.
All right. If anybody has gone to Alaska and done anything that we just said, please let us know why we should go. Why
Yeah.
Stacy should, suck it up and go to Alaska with her beloved.
Yes, we'll see.
Yeah.
How about you guys? What are your favorite U.S. trips anyway?
Well, so going back to, we were talking about short trips and like a 7-day
vacation.
Yeah, trip or a vacation. I have a really hard time with just a long weekend.
It's never long enough.
No, they don't work for me. And so we never do it. We will rarely like hop on a plane and go somewhere for, like a Friday, come back Monday. And maybe we should try it. We should try it. It's not long enough. And Bill can attest. He always said, whenever we go on our longer length vacation, he'll always wonder, okay, how many days in are we going to be before he hears the words from me? I don't want to go home. And sometimes I say it like on day 2, because I'm already thinking about, it's on day 2 of 8 days. And I'm already thinking about, I don't want to go home.
Kitty, you do that a lot because I know you do that. You do it with me. And I mean, with us. And I just know, I look at you and I'm like, stop.
We just got here.
We just got here, for God's sake.
Know.
Yeah. So I have an idea for you with that. So what made me think of it was over the last year or so, I spent a number of 4-day weekends in one particular city. And that makes it a little bit more interesting. So maybe instead of trying someplace new for 4 days, you take your 4-day vacation weekend away to someplace you've already been. So you already have a sense of how your transportation is. Yeah. And you have a sense of, I liked doing this. I wish I would have done that. So maybe it's not a new trip for you, but it's diving in a little bit deeper to a place you went and you kind of liked, but you wish you were there longer.
Yes. Yes. So, the place then, it wouldn't be this time of year. It would be in the summer or maybe in the fall, because I do really enjoy New York. But my true length of time in New York is 5 days. By the
That's your
time I
max.
hit day 4, I'm ready to get the hell out.
So
And
that's your 4-day weekend.
yeah, so that's the kind of place that I would be okay with it. And I've spent so much time there that truly would be like, I know where I'm going. I know what to do there. I know how to navigate all of that. So New York would work for what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Then you could just do a couple things, one thing a day instead of like you've got to go see all the things.
Right.
Because it's someplace new. I'd love to go to Charleston, but I don't think I'm a history buff. Love, all that. I don't know if I could do it in 4 days.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to go spend a full 5 to 7 days, I don't really want to go somewhere where I'm going to sightsee the whole time.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out, something like that too.
You know what city seems really romantic to me?
New Orleans.
Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, yes. And also the Ghost Tour, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Yes.
I love that book. I love the movie.
That's
Savannah is nice.
Savannah
is cool.
Yeah, I've kept that book specifically.
Yeah. Stacy, could we do that on a long weekend?
Yeah. Yes, when so we did a driving vacation, where we just drove, which you would hate. But that's what we did. So we were only literally there 2 days, and we moved, we went to now I have to look at the map what order, but we went to Charleston and we went to Savannah and we went to I don't know, a few other places on the coast. So we were only there a couple days. We did a lot. So yeah, we could get it in for maybe a 4-day weekend would be fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about, I don't know why that I just thought of this, but I would love to go to Cape Cod, but I am terribly intimidated by it. The whole idea of going out there, or like Martha's Vineyard or something like that, totally intimidates me. Like, and I don't know that we've delved. Is that a word? Talked about.
Dove.
I don't know what we've talked about. I don't like being bad at things. So I don't do a lot of things because I'm afraid of being bad or looking stupid or something like that. And I'm trying very hard to get over that.
Yes.
But the idea of going to such an iconic place like that, where it seems like there are a lot of regulars there, it seems like I would not be able to go and enjoy myself. Is that weird? Please tell me I'm not alone.
Oh, you're definitely not alone. I don't think that's weird. I think there are places like that have, well, I mean, we all know what the
what the media portrays it like, and
true. Yeah.
Social media too.
But I mean, I think we hear people say, like, if you weren't born there and you like pick up and move there, you'll never fit in. And I don't know if that's true or not, or what makes that so, but I don't remember when did I go downtown and spend a weekend, and I said, let's go down to the Four Seasons and have a drink. That was
this fall. Yeah.
Okay.
This fall.
And I said, let's go to the Four Seasons. It's such a cool place. It's fairly new. And you said, ooh, that place intimidates me.
Yep. And I live less than a block from it. And I've been there once. I've been there once with you.
And that really surprised me. That really surprised me. Because I don't think I've ever heard you say before that something intimidates you. because you come across as very confident and whatever. And so I was like, well, then we need to go so that you can get over that, because there's nothing about that experience, or really any experience, that should intimidate anybody.
Yeah, you're right. I find that's true for me quite often, and bless your heart for never noticing it, but that's probably because I am usually one of the planners. So I plan stuff I'm quite comfortable with. Now, on the opposite end of things, I will walk into any dive bar anywhere on a road trip and not be intimidated by that at all. Yeah. Where probably a wee bit of caution on occasion would have been nice to have in the back pocket. That doesn't bother me. I don't want to look like a hick from the sticks. I don't want to look like I've never been here before. And I don't know why I care. I mean, I have good manners. I'm polite. I'm kind to people. I'm not going to do anything obnoxious that would draw attention to myself. Even wearing my most loud blouse that I love, I think I'm still okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Four Seasons intimidates me. I'm so glad that my first trip to New York was with you, Kitty, when we went all those bazillion years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get intimidated by places like that.
Yeah, I would think Martha's Vineyard is touristy, so I feel like we just fit in with all the other tourists. I don't think that would be a problem.
Something that I do when I feel a little bit of that creeping in, or I feel like it could be a situation where I may feel intimidated, I will, one, I make sure that I am, whatever I'm wearing, I feel really good and strong in it. I'm going to put on an outfit that I feel is kick-ass, and my heels and, whatever, to make me just feel really confident. And it's almost like acting a part. I am going to play the part that needs to be played in this environment. So I'm going to walk into the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons is their service is so amazing. It's a high touch service place. No matter who you are, when you walk through the front door, you feel like a celebrity. They treat everybody that way. That's their training. It's their brand, all of that. And so I love putting myself into those situations because I take on a different persona. And I talk about this topic a lot. If I'm doing podcasts or having conversations like this at work, I liken it to, I always use the Shakespeare quote, "All the world's a stage." And we have an opportunity to walk out onto that stage every day. What part are we going to play? How are we going to show up in that environment? So that's what I do in those situations. So when we walked into the Four Seasons that night, and if the doorman opened the door, we walk in with grace. We belong there. And we did.
It was so nice. And I would say, as far as dressing up, how do you dress when you go there? We were in jeans. I mean, you could wear whatever, but my armor, my costume that night was my favorite pair of jeans, some heels I really liked. I think I had a little leather jacket on. It's probably 15 years old, so it's nothing fabulous with that. So we didn't have to get all dolled up to go. We wore, and that wasn't the only place we went that night. We went to other places that we walked at. And we've talked about it before. I live down here where there are some really, really amazing restaurants, which people would think are some of the top level restaurants in Minneapolis. And I'm not intimidated to go sit at the bar in those places, but something about the Four Seasons, I made the assumption you had to be, like able to afford to stay there to just go in. And I remember when we sat down, we looked around, we're like, those dudes look like they just rolled off the 18th hole. And then we went into the ladies' room before we were leaving, and it looked like a bunch of girls that were 22 or maybe 17. And I'm thinking, this is not for you. This is not prom night. Get out of here. This is for us old ladies. They had no problem.
Yeah.
So, I do have to get out of my own way for some of that stuff. So.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you deserve to be in those places, and you deserve to be in Martha's Vineyard and anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay, so Stacy hit on something that probably wasn't one of our topics here to talk about. Road trips versus flying. The destination is part of the experience. Are we a thumbs up? No, thank you.
Oh boy.
I'm obviously a thumbs up. And again, I think I, chopped off 4 states on that road trip. Cross those off. So yeah, I like a road trip.
You also can't sleep in a car.
No.
So you're always awake and alert and knowing what's going on.
Yep.
Kitty, are you a road tripper?
I'm not. I'm really not. And Bill will attest to this. And he says, you are the worst road trip companion because I just go to sleep. I'm awful. Or I'll sit and play on my iPad, and I should be having a conversation and, and making the road trip part of the fun. But no, I'm not good at that at all.
Neither.
For me, anything over 3 hours is an hour. Well, so like my trip from here to Sioux Falls is 4 hours. It's 1 hour too long. So I kind of hit the wall at 3 hours.
Fortunately, Stacy's home is only 3 hours from us. So we are good.
Yes.
And it's a straight shot. That's a really nice drive.
Yeah, it is.
The last time that Kitty and I drove down for Madison's wedding, it took us 5 hours to get there because we stopped and then we had to eat real dinner, and we made that a road trip, an unnecessary road trip. But yeah.
Okay. How about outside the U.S.? What do we have outside the U.S. that we love?
Oh, so much.
I have a favorite. I've been 4 times. Which people are like, why don't you want to go somewhere else? Okay, I'm gonna preface it. Went twice with my ex-husband. Went once took Ava her senior year, so it was just Ava and I. And then the last time, Stacy and I, and actually I planned to go by myself. I booked on my own, and then Stacy said, "Well, I'll go with you." I'm like, all right, great. And then Trisha, our friend from Texas, said, well, I can go part of that too. I'm like, great, perfect. So it's Isla Mujeres. I don't know, we can spell it somewhere.
Yep.
It's a little itty bitty 5-mile long island right across from Cancun. So here's why I like it. 1, it is an easy flight from Minneapolis to Cancun, about 3.5 hours. You walk out of the Cancun airport, and I have already booked my taxi to the ferry, my ferry tickets to the island, all in one, with a company called Carms, CARMS. They are standing out where everybody walks out. They have a little sign that says, Amy. And I walk over, and they take my bags, and they take me to this larger, nice passenger van. And it's usually just whoever I'm traveling with. So you're not even riding with other people. Would you like a fresh, cold bottle of water? Yes, I would. And I get in, and they take me a 20-minute drive to the ferry, and somebody takes my bag, and I get in line. And then it's a beautiful 20-minute, very bumpy, very windy ferry ride on aqua blue waters to the shore. And then I don't even have a car. I don't need a car. I don't need a golf cart. I can walk. And I have been to 4 different places on the island. So I have stayed the very southern tip that does require a golf cart. I've stayed 3 places right in the North Beach area. I've never stayed in an all-inclusive because I will never eat my eat enough and I don't drink enough for me to do that. And I've been there enough times now that I kind of know, one meal a day and something on the beach is just perfect. And it is completely and totally safe for women. I would feel safe going by myself. And that to me is a perfect, I usually try and go for 9 days. If I'm going to go, I go like Thursday night to the following Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the most relaxing, pleasant experience and it's affordable. It is truly affordable.
Yeah, it is. I've been there twice.
Stacy's been twice.
Twice. Yeah, I think we need to take Kitty. So that's where we should go next.
I know.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. We walked most everywhere, which is very easy to do.
It's kind of old school. There are no nightclubs. There's no activity after 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Everything shuts down. So you're not going to go there to find the oons, let's go rip it up. Lots of just little mom and pop shops to walk into. I mean, tourist stuff. So, you go on one, they're pretty much all the same. But the people are so pleasant and it's fun to walk in and buy different little things. But we've had Italian. There's awesome pizza there that I like to go to. Great, obviously, Mexican food, fresh fruit, and you can go snorkeling without having to charter and be surrounded by little itty bitty fish, Kitty, not the big honkers, no muskies. That is a little freaky. It does kind of wig you out when something floats right around. And you're like, whoa, there it is. So it is a very, very affordable trip. Would I take little itty bitty kids? No, that's me. People do all the time.
Yeah.
Great for teenagers. They can't go too far. Not probably too much trouble for them to get in. Mm-hmm. And it is rated, I think, in the top 10 beaches in the world. Beautiful white sand beach and just, I've been in January, I've been in February, I've been in March, and I've been in April.
Mm-hmm. They were all good.
Yep.
Yes. January was like 72.
Mm-hmm.
February was like 78. Mm-hmm. March was like 82. April was 88.
The first time I went, it was January and it was warm. I think it was at least 80. So it's probably just like everywhere. It's hit or miss,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So that is my, if I was going to go by myself, if it was going to be a group of women who hadn't gone somewhere and didn't know their way around, if you wanted to take, your family for a nice, easy vacation, there's no tour director finding activities for your kids to do. It really is a very slow speed, low key vacation.
Yep.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah. As it was, 12 below right now? Yes. Yeah. It sounds very lovely. And underpack. I will say that. You need swimsuits. You need 2 pairs of shorts. You need 2 dresses, tennis shoes, flip-flops. That's all you need. And a boatload of sunscreen.
And yet, I would bring twice that, probably.
Well, if you come with us, I'm coming over to your house, and I will purge. So you lay it all out on your bed, and we'll help you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, you need waterproof mascara and chapstick. Let's be honest. You need nothing more than that. Maybe a hat. A hat would be good. It's Gulf side on one side, so it does get a little windy.
Okay, so all right. So my waterproof mascara and chapstick and
sunscreen.
A hat,
that's it.
I think I might bring a swimsuit too.
Oh, I said that.
No, 2 of those.
We're going to give you a large tote bag. That's all you're going to bring with you.
Okay.
Yep. Where else?
I'm a fan of the all-inclusive. I am.
Because
and I think
you also don't get in the ocean.
What?
Do you get in the ocean?
I do, but I don't go out very far. But I do. I mean, I've gone snorkeling. So when we've
Oh,
done
that's good.
we've done Grand Cayman a couple of times. We've done Belize, Punta Cana a couple of times, Cozumel, and usually, well, I can think on all of those trips except the last time that we went to Cozumel, we would go out and do some kind of snorkeling trip. So we go out on a boat and we would get into the water when we are out, we're out there. So I'm definitely going, thank you, definitely going out of my comfort zone, but it's because there the water is, I mean, I will put my face down and I can see 25 feet down. And so I see the eagle rays floating along the bottom of the ocean. But the key here is that I can see them. I don't like being in lake water that I can't
Oh,
see
so
what's
you
touching
can't
me.
see
Got it.
the little bitty fish. Yeah.
Yes. Or
Yes.
or the big fish or the weeds or whatever. Oh, yeah. But I'm a fan of the all-inclusive, I think primarily because I don't want to cook. I want to know, I want the ease of the meals. And also usually with these, when an all-inclusive is going to be a sizable resort of some kind, multiple pools, activities, beach, yoga on the beach, those sorts of things. So I think that's one of the reasons why we've always gone. Oh, we lost Amy. I think that's one of the reasons why we've always gone all inclusive.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I agree. I like it too, especially if you're traveling with a bigger group, because it's hard to get everybody together to go out somewhere if you're going to try to do that. So the all-inclusive thing is kind of nice. You can still go out somewhere else and whatever, but yeah, it's nice to have the option.
when we went to Grand Cayman twice, and actually the first time we left Bo home, he was very young. The second time we took him with us, and then we went to Belize and we took him with us, and we realized after that trip that there is no reason to take a small child to a place like that, because all he wanted to do,
those of us who don't.
all he wanted to do was swim in the pool.
Right.
That's it. From the moment he opened his eyes until he was wiped out tired, he wanted to go to the pool. And he would have been just as happy at the American up on Highway 5. We didn't have to haul ourselves all the way to Grand Cayman with, with the 5-year-old, 4-year-old, whatever he was. Maybe he was even 3.
I see families with tiny little kids in places like that, or Jamaica. I saw a ton of families, I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm going to be the one that says, heck no.
Yeah. I understand.
Teenagers, sure. Little kids, no.
Yeah. I understand the desire. I've also been, okay, here's a question for you guys. When you were in high school, middle school and high school, was spring break a thing? Did people get on an airplane and go somewhere tropical for spring break?
No.
I had never been on an airplane until my French trip when I was a junior in high school. Okay. Every single vacation our family ever went on involved getting in the freaking car and driving like from here to Connecticut and only staying at family members' homes, which when you are one of 3 children and you are staying at a cousin's house, that means you're laying on the floor.
Yep.
Thus, my hatred of road trips. I mean, it was such a big stinking deal. One year we stopped and stayed at a hotel one night that had a pool. That was like a 5, 6, 7 day trip. And I have one day that I was like super excited about.
Yeah.
That's not fun either.
Yeah.
But no, nobody where I was, let me rephrase that. Only the very wealthy families went somewhere.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Us mortals did not.
Yeah, same. It just seems like it was not a thing. Or like you said, it was the very wealthy that would do that. And I feel like now we've become a society where, and this isn't new either, it's probably been the last decade or more that this is just what families do. And I look at it, I'm like, you've got a family of 4 or 6, and you're taking everybody on a cruise. These, how do you do that? And it's one of the things that so your kids are little and they grow up with, oh yeah, every year we go somewhere for spring break. And this now becomes the expectation every year.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's like another one of those things that we raise our kids with this lifestyle that they're going to have a hell of a time supporting once they're out on their own. And they're like, oh yeah, it's spring break. We have to go to Mexico. We have to go to Punta Cana. Oh yeah, I don't have $4,000 to be able to do that because I just started my job.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting on that note. We didn't take Kevin's parents for a long time had a place in Florida. So we did go down there because we had a place to stay, and mostly we took them to the pool. And I get wanting to take little kids because I was the stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was going to watch my 3 kids for 7 days. So the only way I was getting a vacation is if I took the kids. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
So we would go do that, but it wasn't, and then the girls got big into sports, and our vacation was a cabin up north that we would get in the 2-week window between when summer sports ended and before high school sports began. That was, and I always picked out a cabin that hardly had any amenities. So we had to spend our time playing games and being out at the lake and campfires and all that. But then they got to high school, and especially their senior year. When did that become a thing where you have to go somewhere your senior year? And why are all the parents going along?
Yeah. Because the parents want to party with the kids.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the era where I did not want to party with my parents.
Yeah.
Now I'd love it if my girls would want to. And because I live downtown, they do like to come down here and invite their friends. But as you talk about being able to live up to that expectation, not to throw one of my kids under the bus, but one of my kids likes to travel, and her friends have, I don't know where it comes from, but they travel. And so they fly to various places. And she knows, she's also a hard worker and saves her money, always saves her money more than she saves my money, or used to save my money. But now she will say, instead of a birthday present or instead of a Christmas present, would you buy half my airfare?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's an excellent way to approach it, because you do recognize how much money your parents have to expend to get you where you want to go, or how much they used to pay to do that. I think that that's, we talked about gift giving, and what do you give 22-year-olds or 30-year-olds? I think that an experience is a good thing. So, yeah, but you're right. This expectation that you're going somewhere every year is so, that's a lot.
It is.
Oh boy,
It's
we just
sort
went
of
all over the place with that. We didn't even.
I know.
Stacey, where you're out of your country, out of the country vacation spots. What do you like? You've been to a number of them.
Yeah, Kitty mentioned, Grand Cayman. I've been there twice. That was good. Been to a few, other Caribbean spots, mostly through cruises, which we don't do often, but once in a while I kind of like a cruise. My bucket list, of course, is a lot of places in Europe. So
mine too.
Yeah.
Kitty took a massive trip to Italy. Talk about playing the part. You had quite the experience at one of the places.
Yes, we had a family member get married on Labor Day weekend at Lake Como, a beautiful resort at Lake Como, and it was amazing. So we figured, we would build in time in front of that. So we were there for about 12 days, went to Rome and Florence and went out into the countryside and then made our way up to Lake Como. And the wedding venue was the most incredible place I've ever stayed in my life. And I sat out on my little veranda each morning, sipping my coffee, looking directly at George Clooney's house. So that wasn't too shabby for Kitty.
No.
Stacey, we didn't get the invite for this trip, did we?
What was that?
We didn't get the invite to go with with Kitty on this trip.
No, we did not. Nope.
No, not this time, but there is next time. And I know that what I would prefer to do next time. So it was really fun going to the big cities, and seeing all of the, the Colosseum and all of the amazing iconic places that you see in Rome and Florence, etc. But what I really loved was being out in the country. And we went to the little villages that lined the western side, and that was where I really felt like I was getting the romantic Italian experience that I always had in my mind. And so that's what I would do again. Fly into the big city and go right out. Go right out to the country.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. There are so many things that we could talk about on this topic, you guys, and we've definitely gone longer than we normally have, but I feel excited now. I feel excited to plan my next trip. Do you guys too?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should wrap with, do we have a shot? I have a shot.
Can we flip? Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
Go.
So for Christmas this year, we bought Mackenzie and Bo a glass blowing class, and they went this past weekend. They went yesterday. So there is a glass blowing art studio here in the Minneapolis area called Skyglass Arts, and they had the best time. So it was a 2.5-hour class. It was something that Mackenzie had always wanted to do. And they called me on their way home and they were just giddy. They were like, that was so fun. It's to get that sort of emotion out of a 22-year-old. We felt pretty darn good. And it got me sort of excited to go and try it. And that's something that I never would have really thought that I had interest in. But what a really fun and unusual craft. And to be able to go in there and be hands-on to do something like that. So I know that Skyglass Arts is not the only one around, and I'm sure that there are others wherever our listeners might be tuning in from. So go and get your hands dirty and go do something really cool like that you never thought about doing.
Stacey did glass blowing for a science experiment, science fair one year, didn't you? In middle school?
No, I remember doing that in, I don't know, if it was even in chemistry lab or something. I don't know, but not officially, no.
No, I love watching those Chihuly documentaries about glass blowing. They're just so amazing.
Yes,
so amazing.
That one of the things that I love going to see in Vegas is seeing all of the Chihuly art chandeliers and such.
Basically. Yeah, very nice. Stacey, did you have a shot?
I don't, but on that same vein, and you mentioned it too, get your kids experiences, I think that's a good idea for gifts for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to key off of that, and I'm going to flip the shot upside down, which we did do way back in college. But anyway, I would like our listeners to give us a shot. Mm-hmm. I want them to tell us where's the place we should go try.
Yep.
What vacation spot have we not talked about that we should consider going? Tell us where it's at. Tell us why we should go. And can we do it in 4 days or do we need a week's vacation?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear. I want some more ideas of where people have gone and have tried and true experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Great idea. Great idea.
Hit me, bartender. Give me a good shot of where I should go on the next vacation.
That sounds wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Stacy and Amy. So good to see you guys. Everybody have a really wonderful week. Thank you to our listeners for being here every week with us. Thank you for sharing with your friends too. We're getting a lot of really wonderful messages, and we're very, very pleased with all of the downloads, and we want this to spread. We want to share the thoughts, the inspiration, the conversations that we're having here with. We know that there are a lot of people who can benefit. And again, let's think back to one of the main reasons that we want to do this, right? We want to inspire people to live their very best life. We all happen to be over 50. We've got a lot of wonderful experiences ahead of us, and we hope that everybody is feeling the same way and excited about it, right?
Yeah.
Be
Sometimes
excited.
more is a good thing. More.
More. Remember that commercial?
Summer. More.
We could go on. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Who knows what we'll be
Cheers.
talking about next week?
Yeah.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Peace out.
All right. Woo. Look, I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit 'em.